Hi, this is Saintjerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is 8/27 of 23, and I'm hiding the man that is busting all music records for debut just out there in the middle of the woods near Farmland, Virginia, singing his song. Something about people with a lot of money, and they're somewhere up north of where he is there. About as specific as I want to get, trying to avoid any kind of censorship because some channels are kind of sensitive about that thing. So, anyway, what does this man have in common with some other men, those rich men that live north of him? Some people think that might be around ACDC ville. Anyway, here he is, Oliver Anthony. I tell you what, I have been seeing people connect to this song and breaking down in tears that were legit, and there's a lot of emotion in his voice. I've been watching a lot of reaction videos, and holy cow. Okay, let's make this fit the crypto world and what's going on there, shall we? So, rich men respond to Oliver Anthony. They are so upset. Look how upset they are. Those rich men respond with a song of their own, disguised perhaps as the parody expert Ramy. So rich men respond. Actually, it's a song out there, and it's pretty funny. It's a good takeoff on the opposite side and still making fun of those rich men. Well, here's a kind of an attitude sometimes those rich men get. We're having a lot of people now who middle class who are having a tough time making ends meet. My gosh, you go to I'm getting a fly on my head. My goodness, stay away. You see those guys making fun of poor people. It says financial meltdown cost me my job, my home, my insurance, my 401k, and my marriage. And the rich man from Wall Street carrying the big bag of dollars. I mean, if that's fiat currency, maybe he's going to be poor pretty soon, but maybe it's gold too. Who knows? And he goes, must it always be about you? That's right, you poor middle class person. So anyway, that song that we were talking about earlier that Oliver Anthony sang touched a lot of people's hearts because they are in the position of the man holding the sign on the left side, and not there's just a very small percentage of the population of the world holding all the bucks. Is like what, just like at the very top of the pyramid, that less than 1% of the people of the world hold more than half of the wealth of the world. Yowzer. And my friends, where did all this caca start? To quote some of my Hispanic friends, uh, of the dollar losing all its value anyway, huh? Well, some rich bankers got together in 1913 on Jekyll Island, and they came up with the idea of a Federal Reserve. That's where they're allowed to print and control the currency. Federal Reserve, folks, is not part of the U.S. government, and we pay whenever they put a dollar into circulation, we pay interest on it. And now it's just, we're talking earlier here, it's getting ridiculous on the inflation, how much middle class has to pay for ordinary things. Remember those, what were they, 8, 10, $12 eggs per dozen? So these rich bankers made, not filmed, the Federal Reserve. Here's a dark shadows, a dark storm over the Federal Reserve building, the center of those who print the fake money into existence. So was the Federal Reserve formed on Jekyll Island for our benefit, or is it a Jekyll and Hyde scenario? On your left, there is Hyde, and on the right is Dr. Jekyll, right? So Jekyll and Hyde, bam. The Federal Reserve looks like a nice rich man come and help you, but it's really that scary monster on the left who's ready to rip you apart in the little shreds and maybe even laugh at you while they. I think I got that backwards. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You got to love our politicians. They're backed by the banksters. They give their friends, the banksters, a lot of breaks like that, and they take their cut right off the top. So I don't know who these people are, but they seem to be having a good time. I wonder why they're having a good time. I see a lot of familiar faces. I think you know them too. Looks like it crosses like both parties, doesn't it? Myself, I'm a bit of a libertarian, kind of in the middle somewhere, and not trusting either the far left or the far right, as most of us are actually more centrist about our politics. So here's a chart behind me showing kind of the loss of the purchasing power. So in 1913, when Federal Reserve started, by today's dollars, is worth about $26. Think how much more you could purchase if that was the case today. So if you had $10, you would have around $260 of purchasing power from that time period. So what are some historic things that happened during that time? Well, the stock market crashed and it led up to the Great Depression. President Roosevelt confiscated gold. Bretton Woods Agreement established the gold standard and the US dollar as a world reserve currency. Then we abandoned the gold dollar and currencies are no longer backed by gold in 1970s. Quantitative easing just threw these funny money in the air, and the U.S. money supply grew to 3.8 trillion in 2020, equal to 20% of all the dollars ever created, and it just keeps going and going and going. So, folks, here's something funny. The Federal Reserve put a lot of the cash was actually backed by some precious metals off the beginning, but now it's not backed by anything. In the 70s, we used our military might to make us number one currency, but we're losing that now. Uh, the money supply is getting bigger and bigger and bigger all time. Do I hear a giant? Uh-oh. Hey, let's look at this world map. What in the world's going on? Have you heard of BRICS? They recently met and they decided they're going to start trading in gold-backed currencies. Now, I've been hearing in the underground that it's actually been going on a trial basis for about 8 months between some of the countries here. So why is it called BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, I heard that India's having some double thoughts on it a little bit, but there's also another eye to step in, and that's Iran. So let's take a look at the map and see. Look at this. These are the people who are going to be in BRICS right away, and there are several other countries that are going to be there too. So that's a large part of the world's population. If you look at India and China, who have the largest population in the world between them, correct? A couple billion people for both, and then Russia is no small country, especially landmass, a lot of resources, and then you have some African countries in there too, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, South Africa, of course, Brazil, another very large country. So wow, starting to make the Western world look a little maybe left out. So I'm hearing that very soon BRICS is going to control about 80% of the world's economy, and the Western world will uh, not be there. So there's also a possibility of $2 circulating around in the future. One we use internally, not worth as much, and then one we'll have to use for international trade. So, wow. So what is the solution? What can common man do with the banksters, the rich men that are in ACDCville? What can we do to put up a little hedge of protection? Well, Russia says they're already using some gold standards. So, what are these folks going to do? I'm hearing they may make a cryptocurrency backed on gold for the token. And I'm hearing that XRP may be the thing that really pushes it. Now, a lot of people call that a bankster coin, but it seems like we already have banksters that we've been talking about. So, is it totally a bankster coin? It's going to make transactions super fast, and it's going to allow trust between countries, especially in big institutions. So this is a picture of Putin going, they have no idea. There's a mock-up BRICS coin, something kind of like a mock-up Bitcoin. Well, here's a rich man, the same rich man that did Rich Man's Responds. So maybe you should get some crypto, maybe some Bitcoin, maybe some Litecoin. So you might want to get some of those cryptocurrencies, and that'll give you a little hedge. So like I was saying, I got a phone call. Sorry, I'm doing this on my kitchen table. What can I say? Yeah, Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin, but it gets a little dodgy, a little slow, but it's a good store of value. Litecoin, pretty very fast for and that's 84 million going to be mined, and that's it. 21 million for Bitcoin, so it's got the scarcity. Um, then you have XRP that's going to be moving money between financial institutions. So I wouldn't call it a cryptocurrency exactly, but it's a token that's going to be used to replace the SWIFT system. XLM, I'm hearing, is going to do kind of the same thing, transactions between maybe more people or smaller things. It's going to be a lot like XRP. I heard Argentina, for one, was going to be trying that out here soon, experimental basis. Theta, we've talked about before. I think that's going to be big and pushing the internet around and all its buddies like Theta Fuel and Theta Drop. And let's see, did I forget any? Those are the main ones. And then what else do you do? As we are talking in my Bix Weir video, get yourself some precious metals that help put a stop to this inflation and the robbing and the purchasing power of the dollar. When things crash, and we think they're going to go down to a crash in the short term, but I do believe that precious metals and cryptos will climb after that. But we're going to have to go down. I'm hearing Bitcoin as low as 21,000 and maybe below 20,000. That was the former crypto viewing people were talking about that future forecasting group, something like that. Um, they were calling for that kind of price, and so were some others too. So we got crypto, we got precious metals. Silver probably has more potential than gold, even though I wouldn't sneeze at gold either. And you might want to have some of that fiat cash around, so when things get kind of dodgy all at first. So anyways, Oliver Anthony inspired me to talk about some banksters, and it's kind of the way they been sticking it to us, you know. But there's ways we can protect ourselves. I think a lot of the banksters are going to be scrambling, and I'm hearing a lot of banks going to go out of business. So it'll be interesting in the future here what exactly happens. So I've got a 500 subscriber contest up right now. That when I get the 500 subscriber to my YouTube channel, I'm going to give out at least 10,000 Satoshis, about whatever Bitcoin is, $2 to $3, right? That I think I'll sweeten the pot, maybe make it double that at least. I also want to put on a new contest. There's a certain channel that I'd like to beat, and they only have like 444 subscribers, so I don't want to give that channel away yet. But I'm going to do the same thing for beating the that channel. And so when we get whatever head of that is, and I'll mention, hey, we just beat them. Next commenter, bam, we'll get at least 10,000 satoshi. So we're going to have one for 444 about, and then one for 500 subscribers. I was at 395 today, so we're pretty darn close anyway. Also, like XRP being a big thing that people might want to get into their portfolio, best place to get it is probably not financial advice, but Caleb and Brown seems to be good. Mel Carmine wants you to invest $10,000 with his broker, and he'll get you all the XRP you want. Well, I'm pretty sure I use the same broker as him. It's Caleb and Brown, and you can go as little as $2,000. And I hear you can go, if you don't have use a broker, go through a broker, you can do it yourself on the portal, and for as little as $500. So you have to play around with that. But if you use my code down below for Caleb and Brown, you will get a 3.5 permanent discount. But please use my code. Also, join Patreon, and you can get a free Zoom call with me when you sign up, even at the lowest tier right now. And I think I'm going to get a few Patreon people going here. I think I will give everybody who signs up, let's say, make it reasonable. In the next 60 days, I'll give all Patreon people who sign up, I will send them 10,000 Satoshis. So I'll be splitting that fee with you a little bit too. And I'll throw it as a free Zoom call for the first 30 days. So after that, that's at a higher tier. Well, thanks for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Please hit a like and subscribe. If you have any ideas of something you want a video about, put it in the comment section below, and I will get to it. Thanks for coming and watching once again. I'll see you soon in another cryptocurrency video.